Yes. Yeah. It's balloon party. What's up? Yeah. Cavassier.
Neat.
My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. That's Jackson Bennett Burkett. And he's wearing his Jason Tatum jersey.
Yep.
Celebrating the win.
What a win it was. What a win it was. That was great entertainment.
Here's kind of a breaking news situation for our 101 ESPN audience. I have the hiccups. The TMA email of the day presented by the great people at Design Air Heating and Cooling. It got me, and then I got hiccups, and I'm fearful that they're going to carry over to this program, and if that happens, welcome to Pacers Talk for the next hour.
That's right, breaking it down.
So all of you are now in my esophagus.
No, I think this is like people are like, I hope Tim hiccups because we've been waiting so long.
They want to hear about Rick Carlisle.
Yeah. I mean, what else in sports was more interesting last night than the Celtics-Pacers game?
Well, the Cardinals and Orioles, 1-1.
And that had a unsatisfying finish, considering it got rained out. Who could have saw that one coming?
Well, the finish is about an hour and 6 minutes away.
Yeah.
11:15, suspended ball game.
Who do you think will come out and pitch in the 6th?
Dave LaPointe.
Or 7th, I guess, top of the 7th, Dave LaPointe.
I got to tell you, I guess it's a weather take. Okay. I have a take.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, you know, if I say it, I mean it. I was outside with my family last night.
Chickadeedle?
Nurse?
Were you barbecuing Chickadeedle?
No, we were out at a little event type place.
Yeah, like a garden party.
We were at a garden party.
Nice.
Oh, now you've doxed me. and I'm out there, and then I go out with my older son, and I mean, I'm like, ooh, it is about to storm.
Ominous.
And it was like 6:30 to 6:45.
Right.
I bring this up for the following point. It was clear that all hell was about to break loose in the St. Louis area. I live, I don't know, it's like a 10-minute drive to downtown. So it's not like I'm, you know, far away from the ballpark. And I'm thinking to myself, why'd they even start that thing?
Right.
You know, I mean, listen, I'm 8 credit hours away from a journalism degree. I don't have any meteorological background.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, what are we doing here? And then, perhaps no coincidence, the teams were able to scurry through 5 innings very quickly.
Yeah. Lance
and
Lynn.
with only 1 run. It's amazing how it happens. It's got to be a coincidence.
Do you think maybe in MLB's mind that it is better to shut a game down with weather coming about an hour and a half after first pitch, or not playing a game, moving it to the next day, making a doubleheader, and then no rains ends up coming that night and they could have got it in? Like, which do you think that they would prefer?
Well, Jackson, I think it's a great question, and I'm going to go case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Orioles are not revisiting our fair town, which used to be their hometown.
Perfectos?
Oh, no way.
The Orioles were the Browns?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But you said Perfectos first.
I wasn't sure. There's been a lot of baseball teams that have played here. And
Do you know that the Orioles were the St. Louis Browns?
No, not until this very moment.
No way.
No idea. No.
I think that's more egregious than the Sedin twins thing from yesterday.
What, like, would that have been the 50s?
They moved, I don't know what year they moved, but the Cardinals and Orioles, then the Browns,
right.
played in the World Series.
I know that happened. I know that
Well, then you had to know
Well, I thought they just folded up.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought they just
Baltimore.
No, okay. That makes sense.
All right.
Baltimore's had some teams move, come back and move.
What do you think about this? This is going to rock everybody's world right now. The teams that have moved to Baltimore in the last 80 years, both were named the Browns. What you going to do now?
I can't do a thing.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, you're probably scared straight right now. The St. Louis Browns and the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Orioles, the Baltimore Ravens. What you going to do?
Up until this point, I thought the Ravens were an expansion team.
I can't tell. I mean, it's World Series of Poker season. I got to start picking up my reads. I got to dial in my reads. You didn't know that the Baltimore Ravens were the Cleveland Browns.
Nope. Well, because the Cleveland Browns exist. Cleveland Browns exist. I didn't think there was a lapse in their tenure in Cleveland.
And there are some who were credible who felt like what happened with Cleveland could have happened with St. Louis.
Right, but instead there were dragons to slay.
And contingency fees to collect.
Okay. All right. So now I feel like I'm gaining knowledge.
Yeah.
NBA franchise moving around, I can follow that pretty well. I know the history of that stuff.
Same thing that's going on with the Arizona Coyotes. They may be resuscitated, they may not, but the Utah franchise that is now in operation in Salt Lake cannot be the Coyotes.
Right.
Whereas the Utah Jazz was
the New Orleans Jazz.
Now, you know that, but you didn't know about our St. Louis Browns.
NBA franchises, I'm pretty good at.
What about Major League Baseball franchises that were in St. Louis that played in the World Series against the Cardinals?
That's on me. But baseball's hard, too, because they're they played in the 1800s. And
the Perfectos.
Yeah, I don't know. So the Perfectos became the Cardinals.
Aye.
Okay. All right. So that was my confusion. All right. So we're good.
Okay.
We're good. But yeah, baseball's hard just because they played for and they would sell the teams for like a 6-pack of beer and trade Babe Ruth to finance a play. That stuff is so folksy.
But it's true.
I know, it's weird. And then they're like, that's the best player ever. I was like, okay, I guess. So they traded them for a ham sandwich.
I've never heard of this term before. This kid is clueless soup.
Clueless soup. Okay.
Never heard that term.
No.
Have you?
No. Probably because it's not a term used, because it's pretty silly. Seems like a silly thing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. I don't think
you really didn't know that the Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore?
I know the Colts moved from Baltimore in the middle of the night. I know that. That's a pretty famous one, but I did not know that the Cleveland Browns then moved. So when did the Cleveland franchise return, get the Browns back?
I believe 98.
Really?
Yes.
So they've only been there for 26 years?
Correct.
And this iteration of them? Wow.
But the Ravens became the Ravens in the mid-90s. I think it was the first year that the Rams were here, so 95.
Okay. Wow, I had no...
But that's the whole thing. That's why there were these clauses, and that's why these supposed votes to keep NFL franchises from moving, because they were moving all over the place in the mid-1990s.
Yeah, geez. There was a lot of...
L.A., Oakland.
Yeah.
Houston, Tennessee. It was initially Memphis.
Oh, really?
How about that? Liberty Bowl. And then you had the Ravens with the Browns, Cleveland and Baltimore, and St. Louis with L.A., Anaheim.
Wow.
But Cleveland fought it, hated Art Modell the way St. Louis hates Stan Kroenke. Art Modell, the owner of the Browns, and they fought to keep the rights for the franchise there. And so when they got an expansion team, which they fought for, as opposed to contingency fees and dragon slaying, they got to restart the Cleveland Browns with Tim Couch.
Got it. Now, is it...
I mean, this is great. I'm taking questions from you today.
Yeah, it is. First question.
Do you have hiccups now?
No, that was just a little bit of some of that black coffee rearing its ugly head again.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You gonna go on the vomit comet, bro?
No. I am starting to perspire a little bit. But
why? Because you're realizing how many things you didn't know that you're learning?
No, I would never.
Are you scared straight by the fact that Baltimore has taken 2 Browns franchises, one in MLB and one in NFL?
No, but there's something there. I don't know what yet, but there's something there. My first question.
Sure, I'm taking them.
When they had 2 football franchises in L.A. at the same time, Raiders and Rams, which had more juice, Lakers, Clippers, obviously it's Lakers, Dodgers, Angels, obviously Dodgers.
This is tough because now I think this goes back to my age bias, but at the same time they were the Oakland Raiders and then they moved to LA in the early 1980s.
Right. Howie Long was a part of that move when he was on.
Yeah, Marcus
Oakland.
Allen.
Yeah, right.
I would say the Raiders. But I don't know. It's so much so that the Rams moved to Anaheim, and they weren't playing in the same building.
Oh, okay.
The Raiders were, at the Coliseum, actually in Los Angeles. The Rams went south
Got it.
to Anaheim.
Okay. All right. I was like,
and just never really gained traction.
yeah, because like in the late 80s, early 90s, like NWA's wearing all the Raider gear.
That's right.
And so I felt like maybe that would have caused like, no, the Raiders are like the cooler team in LA.
I would say that was the case.
Okay. That
With
makes sense.
respect to Flipper Anderson.
That makes sense. And then my second is
Yep.
when when the Titans wear the Houston Oilers uniforms when they play Houston.
I kind of feel like that's a cuck sitch.
That is the most disrespectful thing you can do.
Okay, yeah.
That's like when Fisher tried to be disrespectful and send all the guys that they got in the trade for RG3
That was such a weird thing
to the
too.
coin toss.
I agree with you.
People
like, that's so badass. Like, the team sucks. This isn't like a dunk.
Yeah, the Titans wearing the Oilers uniforms against Houston is a way bigger disrespect move.
Yeah.
Because those uniforms are gorgeous too.
The old Houston Oilers uniforms?
The logo's great with the derrick, the oil derrick. Like, that stuff is great. So
I didn't know that term.
Oil derrick, I only know that from There Will Be Blood.
Ah, nice. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. There's a whole ocean of oil underneath our feet. That's pretty good.
I tuned in late and just saw the other QB. What does that mean? That's Tiny Peepee. If Tiny Peepee...
The other QB.
I don't know. No, you can get involved in the YouTube chat. Plenty of people are. YouTube.com/TMASTL. I'm telling Jackson about sports.
Yeah, I was unaware of a lot of these franchise
The Baltimore Orioles being the former St. Louis Browns and you not knowing that really surprises me.
Yeah. Where it's weird. Like, if you name an NBA franchise, I can tell you their whole...
Atlanta Hawks.
St. Louis. Came from St. Louis. Bob Pettit, one of the greatest players of all time.
Right.
The last Hawks MVP, actually, was Bob Pettit.
Think about that.
Yeah, so we're going on, 70 years, 60 years? One in 58.
Jackson not knowing that the Cleveland Browns were the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. Listen, I thought the Ravens were an expansion franchise for sure. Like, when teams change names, it's tough. Like, if they keep the same name, then I can kind of track it.
I get that, because I'm sure there's plenty that but when it's a St. Louis Major League Baseball team, that one just surprises me. And I'm not here. I'm not even busting balls. I'm just surprised, because that one I kind of feel like everybody in this area knows.
Yeah. Who's the best Browns player of all time?
Oh,
because Satchel Paige didn't play for the Browns, did he?
I feel like there's an easy, great answer, but I'm gonna. God, it's high risk to say it. I always operate by the Mark Twain thing. What's that phrase? Keep your mouth shut. People might think you're an idiot. Open your mouth, and everybody knows you're an idiot.
I think it's Abe Lincoln.
I understand that to be Mark Twain. Sam Clemens to you.
Ooh.
I was going to say Dick Sisler, but then I feel like I might be leaving one out there for myself. He Hall of Famer, George Sisler. So he did play for the Browns. I don't know. Let's see. I'll go into the text inbox. Tim, you just said to join the chat at TMASTL on YouTube. This is the balloon party, you stooge. Bernie Kosar all day. Sisler, so I'm right. God bless. All right, I hit that one.
It was, now
That's what a bunch of people are texting in, so I'm like, okay.
Well, now I can school you a touch. It was Abe Lincoln. And the quote is...
Really? That's not like I felt real passionately about it, but it was attributed. Really, you're 100% on that.
Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. And there was a lot of irony in me botching
and
that.
Where is that attributed? I mean, if you got that off Wikipedia.
Quote investigator.
Quote investigator.
It's usually credited to Abe Lincoln or Mark Twain.
Okay.
So probably some poor bookkeeping, I would say. I could see either saying it.
Ask Junior who the California Golden Seals became and also the Kansas City Scouts. I know this one because my son this year played for the Scouts. They took all these old defunct NHL teams in his little mini-mite hockey league, and I had no idea about it before.
Okay. Are the Golden Seals the Capitals?
No.
The Hurricanes?
No. I mean, we could be here until like the fast lane if we keep.
The Devils? Are they the Devils?
No.
I don't know. I don't know. And the Kansas City Scouts, this is the first time I've ever heard those words in succession, so I'm not going to
had sharp sweaters. They were wearing those sweaters, yeah.
I'll take a look at them.
The Kansas City Scouts became the Colorado Rockies.
Baseball? I thought we were talking hockey.
They became the Colorado Rockies. And then they became the team that is in existence now.
The Avalanche.
No. That was the Quebec Nordiques. Your head's going to explode right here in this first segment.
So the Kansas City Scouts, a hockey team became a baseball team. Is that how this works? Can I get a pickleball franchise and put them in the NFL? What's going on?
The Kansas City Scouts moved to Denver,
Okay.
where they became the Colorado Rockies.
Still playing ice hockey.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Then they moved to the Garden State and became the New Jersey Devils.
Okay.
And they hoisted chalices with Martin Berthier.
Yeah. Okay. And Putty paid in his face. But, okay. So the Colorado franchise was named the Rockies before the baseball team was ever in existence.
That's correct.
All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Now,
Right.
And the Rockies is a great mascot, so I don't blame them going double dipping with that one.
California, Golden Seals.
Anaheim Ducks.
Cleveland Barons.
Okay, jeez. Would they move to Baltimore?
It was a relocation from the California Golden Seals from 76 to 78. And after just 2 seasons, the team merged with the Minnesota North Stars, now the Dallas Stars.
What? So Minnesota, they merged with Cleveland to be Dallas's team? Oh, boy. Why? How come Jackson can't know all of this stuff? This makes total sense. What? And how the Wild? Okay, the Wild had to be expansion then.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. I can breathe a little easier now. All right. Now I'm getting it. I don't know why teams are merging.
Can you imagine moving a franchise and then telling all the players, oh, by the way, now you're playing a different sport?
Yeah, that was my question. Okay, when you heard Colorado Rockies, everyone was like, yes, of course, hockey. Come on.
Did Little Einstein, is that what you're going by now?
There was a song, 2015, Vine was really popular. There's a song, Little Einstein.
Yeah.
It kind of slaps.
All right. Did Little Einstein know there used to be 2 St. Louis Cardinals teams in 2 different sports?
Yes. Goodness. Big Red Baseball Cardinals. That's why I still call them St. Louis Baseball Cardinals.
That's right. Tell Jackson the Calgary Flames used to be where? We covered this.
Atlanta.
That's correct.
The Fire?
No, the Flames.
Okay.
I mean, it was literally in the text.
Oh. Well, sometimes these...
So what, they were the Atlanta Fire, and then they became the Calgary Flames?
It makes much sense as becoming the Kansas City Scouts, which is a terrible mascot, and then becoming the Rockies, a soon-to-be baseball team. Where's all the clairvoyant folk? Can't they see these coming?
The Utah Jazz thing is probably the biggest issue.
God, that's the worst.
It's almost like good satire.
Yeah. I mean, Los Angeles Lakers is up there, too, because there's no lakes in L.A., like none. There's no...
Where'd the Lakers come from?
Minnesota.
But you didn't know about the St. Louis Browns becoming the Baltimore Orioles, the Cardinals' opponent today.
Yeah, I told you, NBA could go all day on that stuff, but I can't do it with baseball because they traded franchises for penny candy back in the day. And then hockey teams change to baseball teams whenever they feel like it, so I can't keep it straight.
What did the Thrashers become?
The Winnipeg Jets.
What did the Winnipeg Jets become?
Oh, Jesus. They were a team and then they weren't, and now, oh, God. Pick a city. Pick a city and stay there.
Who are you yelling at?
Winnipeg, I guess. The Blue Jackets.
No.
Are they expansion?
Yes.
Okay, terrible.
The league looked around and said we need to put a team in.
Yeah, what's that doing? Are they going to move to Baltimore? Ohio Staple, apparently. I have no idea who the Winnipeg Jets were once and now are not.
They're now in Utah.
They're the Jazz. So the Jazz came from New Orleans. They merged with the Winnipeg Jets.
The Cleveland Barons. No, they became the Arizona Coyotes, who are now in Utah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Quebec Nordiques.
Nordiques?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably French.
What'd they become? We already covered this in today's lesson.
The Nordiques became the Kansas City Scouts.
The Avalanche.
Oh, okay. Weak-ass sweaters.
Being a KC native, tell young Einstein that the Scouts' ties to the Chiefs. It's a Native American thing. That's from the 210.
Yeah, it's great. Everything with that's going great.
Name of the city where the Avalanche came from.
Oh, Jesus. Didn't we just do this a second ago?
Yeah, so I mean,
Winnipeg?
No!
The Nordiques.
No, that's not a city!
Oh, well, Quebec.
Yes!
Great fishing in Quebec.
There is palpable anger.
And we haven't even gotten a toe in the water of this Rick Carlisle situation.
What'd the Hartford Whalers become?
The Hurricanes. I got it.
Yes!
All right.
Look at this.
Look
at this. Things are happening now.
What a sport.
Now what? Right there. Right there.
No, they're playing in big towns like Hartford.
Oh, God, it's 10:26. Oh, my God, I got a Jamie Rizzers text. And how about this? In defense of Piddles, even I'm confused. Who the hell is who now?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You and Rivers are back.
Teams are merging.
I am like 70 minutes late for a break, and the show's only 60 minutes long. We got a break. Jackson learned a lot. It's Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Welcome back, Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Timothy, Michael, McKernan, Jackson, Bennett, Burkett. Jackson got sideways with Rocky. You'll have to watch it on the behind-the-scenes show during the commercial break.
We should do
Rocky
that.
came in here to dunk on Jackson.
Yeah, and he fumbled. Much like Nathaniel Pete at the one down the plains.
Oh, nice. Little War Damn Eagle reference. Roll damn Tide, War damn Eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a wide berth Wednesday. Cardinals and Orioles completing the suspended game starting at 11:15, 45 minutes from now in downtown St. Louis on what is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Hawk appears to be light out of the west, maybe southwest for today's festivities. And then Jackson, you'll have the completion of the series, a chance for a sweep. And then at the same chance, they could lose the series.
Yeah,
and we'll know within the next 5 hours.
What a day. What a day at Busch Stadium.
That is. What's the first question of the Little Piddles Wide Berth Wednesday?
I'll go Cardinal question first.
Sure.
Do you think this Redbird team should be looking to draw as many walks as humanly possible? Take Monday night's game, for example. They score after a walk, followed by a stolen base that turns to a normal single into an RBI single. They walk a few times to get the bases loaded, and Mason Wynn hits a little dribbler that he legs out for an RBI. In their last 8 games, they have drawn 37 walks, and those 8 games feature a lot of wins.
Maybe there's a little method to the madness.
A little small ball.
Yeah,
a little
great.
bit. I mean, they've proven that they score runs that way with sacks, sack flies, and
Yeah, because it's gotten things done. Now, here's my side observation to your question. I'm finding that I'm really starting to enjoy just watching Mason Wynn play baseball.
he's great.
Because it's reminding me. I mean, he had a play last night. Where was it 2 nights ago?
Double play where he
the double play
rifled
where
it.
He gunned it, but I feel like there was
Last
another
night
one.
he had a diving play.
Dove to his right, played for the pole, and
Yep.
then dove to his right. So anyway, I'm just like, this is, because it takes me back to Ozzie Smith. I'm not saying he is Ozzie Smith, but I'm just saying that kind of thing, the speed, that's fun to watch. And he's a young guy for, if in fact this era of Cardinal baseball is in the middle of an unspoken retool as opposed to the Blues vocal retool.
Yeah,
this is the Cold War silent retool that we could be in the midst of here. By the way, ESPN, I was reading this like at 5:15 this morning. Their updated top 50 MLB prospect rankings. Jackson, how many members of your St. Louis baseball Cardinals are on there?
See, I always have a problem with prospect rankings because what do they call it? Can a player in the majors be a prospect still?
It's apparently so.
Okay. All right. Thank you. How many Cardinals are in that top 50?
Yes.
I will say 2. Jordan Walker and Mason Wynn.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
Neither one.
Neither one. All righty.
It looks like they're taking, for the most part, people who are not in the major leagues. But
Okay,
there are some players who have some MLB service time or are on the Pittsburgh Pirates right now with an Instagram influencer.
A flamethrower with that.
Right.
So was I wrong in the number of the people? Both of them. Okay.
That was Jesus Shuttlesworth's father, Denzel Washington, in 1998. He got game.
Sounds right. I love He Got Game.
Yeah, Shuttlesworth from the corner.
Yeah, big time. Jamie Foxx is so good in that movie. Or, I'm sorry, Denzel. The question was the top 50 prospects.
This is a delay tactic for those of you not familiar with these things.
I'll go 1, Tink Hence.
You went with 1. I noticed that. You were going to go 3, and then you went 1.
Well, because I couldn't name 2 other people who would be
Nice.
in the top.
And you hit it.
1,
You
Tink
shipped
Hence.
it.
Okay.
You shipped it.
Okay.
There you go.
Because I was thinking like maybe Robersa, but if I was wrong on 2, then.
And then they do a list of kind of like others receiving votes for another 10, and there are no Cardinals on that. So 1 out of 60. And this, my friends, can you see my little left arm popping up when I'm doing this? And this, my friends, is why I am concerned. Because it'd be one thing if you're going, okay, the Arenado Goldschmidt era may be coming to an end with a thud. Still not sure that it is, but it may be. But at least you have X, Y, and Z making their way up. But alas, that's not the case. And that, to me, is the concerning part. Now, I realize most people, and understandably so, by the way, because it's not their job, are not monitoring prospects in the Cardinals minor league system. But if you are, and you go, oh, boy, this is a little concerning because it didn't go in great at the major league level. That's where I get into we might be at the beginning of the silent retool.
Yeah, if you allow a little optimist to join the chat here.
Somebody must be going rights holder.
What I would say is, even though that prospect ranking and only having one player
I know the line you're going to take here.
is damning.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just going to say it.
Go ahead.
Sometimes guys take a little bit longer to develop, and we can see guys be all-time greats who weren't in anybody's prospect rankings or drafted high, and especially pitching-wise. Pitching-wise, sometimes guys take until a year or two later than you think.
And I would agree with the perspective that pitching, I think, can tend to take longer.
Yeah.
However, the concern right now for the Cardinals is the guys who are supposed to be the young core are struggling.
Yep.
And that is probably being polite.
Yeah. Well,
and they're offensive players who are struggling. That's what I'm saying, not pitchers. Like the Libertor thing, initially it's like, sometimes it takes longer. And now you're going, okay, we got a problem here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
But the Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman regressions.
Yeah. Gorman's looked a little better the last week.
But overall, that's concerning.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no other way to... And I know Dylan Carlson at this point is he's basically written off.
Yeah, he'll be a Padre.
But it was not long ago. I actually think it was the COVID year spring training where he was the guy. Now, I don't think he had Tavares Walker hype, but the next tier down is where he was.
Yeah.
And that's, so if you have both your pipelines of offensive and pitching not being able to rise to the rankings, that's a big problem.
Right. And it's either talent
because that
evaluation.
means you can't then correct the miss on one side by trading the assets where you might have some, redundancy, as we would hear. Well, we got too many outfielders, but you don't really have any.
Right. You have guys who play the outfield.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Guys who play the outfielders. Dan Jansen says some sports radio producers take longer to develop as well.
Yeah, I'd say that's the case. I haven't even come close to my peak yet.
Yeah, I mean, buy stock in Piddles.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's an indictment of either talent evaluation or coaching. And either way, it's a big indictment on the front office. And like you have said before, and I think many people share the sentiment, these are the guys you're trusting to turn things around, who have proven so far over the last 6-7 years.
That's at the core of the issue. That's at the core of the issue. All right, it's 10:38. Clock's just been lit on fire today when we were teaching Jackson about NHL relocation. We'll come back with the second half of Balloon Party. This is 101 ESPN. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, presenting sponsor Balloon Party here on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. And we recommend them wholeheartedly. They got a great deal for TMA listeners, and we're carrying it over to Balloon Party as well. And that deal is the following: $589 a month with no money down. That's right, no money down for a 2024 Acura MDX Premium. That's right. No money down, $589 a month. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota for a 2024 Acura MDX Premium. It's at Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. All you got to do is go shopping at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com and start working with the great Jamie Burkhardt, Peter Munganess, and then in the service department, Ryan Seiberg. What a team they have at Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota.
This is Action Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals played 6 innings last night, 6.5 innings last night, and the game was suspended, tied 1-1. They will resume that game this afternoon. 12:15 is when they will resume that game, and then the game originally slated to play today will start after that. Kyle Gibson will be on the mound for that game to finish out the series with the Orioles. And the last night, Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics beat the Pacers 133-128 in overtime in very exciting fashion. Jaylen Brown with the game-tying 3 at the end of regulation. That was their SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back. It's Balloon Party 101 ESPN. My name is Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Burkett. And Jackson has questions that he calls the Little Piddles Wide Berth Wednesday. Jackson, what is your next question on this Wide Berth Wednesday where people are watching carefully?
As we are hip deep in simultaneous playoff action, describe your feelings towards Game 1 performances in general in terms of playoffs. Do you think how teams come out for Game 1 can set the tone for the series? As a road team stealing a win in Game 1, a massive chess move that puts them in the driver's seat? If it's a lopsided series matchup, is the lesser team more inclined to put their foot on the gas from the get-go? What are your thoughts on Game 1 aggressiveness?
God, I feel like I could argue either side of the whole thing.
Right. And localized, some of the Cardinals and Blues Game 1s that kind of maybe affected the series one way or another.
Blues lost Game 1 in Boston in 2019, if you want to go back to that.
Yep.
Blues lost Game 1 in San Jose in the Western Conference Finals, if you want to go back to that.
It was the first game against Dallas?
I'll have to check with my nurse.
I can take a look. I should have taken a look in the first place.
But, I don't know. I mean, in the case of a team as big of an underdog as the Pacers are in that series, with what's Boston, or they were minus 650, I think, going in.
Yep.
And that's a substantial underdog.
Oh, yeah.
I still wouldn't have been like, oh, Boston's going to lose that series if they would have lost last night.
No. I have them winning in 6.
You have them winning in 6.
But
so
I
you
did
expect a loss.
I expect, 2
matter.
losses, probably both at Gainbridge Fieldhouse where the Pacers play. It gets really loud there. But I did not have Game 1 loss on the bingo card, so that would have changed things.
I find the only emotional investment I have in these playoff series is I really want to see the Oilers beat the Stars. That's it. I mean, if the Celtics beat the Pacers, great. Tatum, God bless, but I'm not going to be down one way or the other or up. I mean, I guess I'd prefer it, let me put it that way, but I don't really care that much. I really don't care about the other series.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
You want to see
Ant-Man. I don't like Luka.
Okay, fair enough. And then, I think for the good of the NHL, I think it'd be great if the Rangers are in there. And people might be like, I don't like New York, and I want Matthew Tkachuk, and I understand that. But as far as attention on the series for the league, I'm of the opinion that goes without saying, that if you have the Rangers, not the Islanders, not the Devils, but the Rangers in there, that's against McDavid. And if it becomes a classic, that can really help the game. As stupid as that might sound, I feel like that's obvious.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
But I don't know if that's accepted as common knowledge. I have no idea. Maybe there are a million people writing about it and I'm not aware of it. That's certainly possible.
I think if McDavid is wearing a blue shirt and he's on the blue shirts, it's already, the sport would already be so much better off. But the fact he plays in Edmonton, and it's not a shot at Edmonton, it's very North Canada.
Why do you hate Wayne Gretzky?
I love Wayne Gretzky, but he eventually came and played for L.A. There is some.
And then he came to St. Louis.
Right. And probably should have stayed longer.
Nice.
I do know that. But
when you give a hockey take that you like, do you get so emotional you have to clear your throat?
Or come close to retching. But no, I think it would be great because it would put him on the national stage, probably more so than he's ever been in his career, more than any All-Star game, any regular season matchup, just because of where you play, And all my respect to my Canadian friends.
Jamie Rivers, because your alliance is back now.
That's right.
Not that he came to your rescue on the unfortunate first segment, as it's now known.
I thought it was a great segment, and I thought I performed well.
Jackson, what's your next question on this Little Piddles Wide Berth Wednesday? Uh-oh, sounds like somebody only had 3 questions.
No, I don't want to ask a long-winded question at 10:46 when we have to take another break.
Okay.
In Dallas right now, they're getting ready to host both the NBA and NHL conference finals. The first time the same city and building has done so since 2003, Tim, and there's $5 in it for you if you can name that city. 03, NBA and NHL.
Okay.
Conference finals. Same building.
Watch this. I have a level of confidence.
Okay.
And I think you don't expect me to know it.
No, that's not necessarily the case. You got a good memory.
Yeah, but I mean...
You got a good memory. 03, you're working in TV, so you have probably been privy to more of this stuff.
I'm trying to think of, like, the Eastern Conference. God. I'm going with the T-Wolves in the Wild?
Nope. The answer is the New Jersey Devils and New Jersey Nets.
And then I didn't think the Nets were in there then, though. That's why I faded it at the end.
03, New Jersey
Because
Nets.
the Devils at that time were always a nice play.
Yeah.
But I didn't think the Nets were in there.
Yep. East
Did the Nets
Rutherford.
lose to the Lakers in 2000, 2001, or 2002?
Yes.
The Lakers went through the Pacers, Sixers, and Nets, and I don't know what the order was.
I think the Nets might have been up first.
Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not positive either.
It's a good little trivia question.
It is. My question behind that, though, that makes me wonder, what is the best crossover or eclipse time in sports for St. Louis, both in your lifetime and all time? And people can text in.
They always can. As a matter of fact, Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. It's kind of obvious, I feel like, but maybe I'm missing it.
I have a feeling I know where you're going.
Well, 2000, but it's people think of the sporting news cover, but the Cardinals were a great team in 2000. The Blues won the President's Trophy, and the Rams were coming off a Super Bowl, and they still had the most exciting offense that following year, just had a terrible defense, which cost them another run at a back-to-back Super Bowl championship, which could have been back-to-back-to-back with how good the 2001 team was. So you had all three firing on all cylinders. And I think, therefore, that's why it's tough for me, and this is just being honest, and I know it'll be poorly received, and you can hate on me. It's fine. I'm essentially one big scar at this point. So it just, whatever. Oh, you suck. Fine. But that's why if you lived through that and you covered it as I did, and I was 23. I mean, my first weeks being in St. Louis, my second day at KMOV, they acquired Jim Edmonds. 2 weeks in, I'm flying on the Blues charter to see him play the Sharks as a number one overall seed, and we're less than 2 months removed from a Super Bowl parade. So therefore, it's tough for me to be at peace with where we are now in the sports scene.
Yeah, I hear that.
And if people don't like that, then God bless. Personally, I find it to be aspirational. I'd like to see us get back there as opposed to just accepting of what it is now. Because I think it's kind of sad relative to that. Now, if you are in your age range and you may have been alive, but you don't recall that, obviously.
Not at all.
It'd be like somebody talking to me about like 1978, that the Cardinals and Blues were all great. I'd be like, I don't know. I was around, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Right.
It's to me, it's sad. That's the best way. But I know that doesn't play well. At the same time, I don't play well, so I'm fine with it. But that's where I am on it. All right, we'll take a commercial break. Come back with the final segment of Bloom Party 101 ESPN. Hey, this is Tim McKernan for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold, mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call the good people at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Their modern, durable tubs and showers are designed with an exclusive high-tech polymer liner. And what that means to you is it'll be low maintenance, resistant to mold and mildew, easy to clean, and it's gonna last for decades. Plus, comes with a lifetime warranty. So here's what you do. You call the Bath Authority today. The number is 314-347-0410, and you get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. You are their priority at the Bath Authority. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Call today, 314-347-0410 to schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits. Welcome back, Balloon Party 101 ESPN. My name's Tim McKernan. That's Jackson Burkett, BK, and Ferrario coming your way here in a matter of moments. Derek Gould tweeting this out here in the last, I'd say 40 minutes. Matthew Liberatore is in the Cardinal bullpen here at Busch Stadium, full uniform, throwing a bullpen, and that would sure seem to put him out of pitching in today's doubleheader and prep him for a start Saturday. Oh. The starter for that game has not been announced officially.
Lord. Yeah, if you're throwing a bullpen 3 days prior, oh boy.
Well, I mean, the logic is you're throwing a bullpen, you're not going to be throwing
today. Yeah, right. No, I get that for sure.
And they're off tomorrow.
Off tomorrow, Friday against the Cubbies.
Hollow, if you hear me. Tupac. 90,
I hear you.
92. I'm going to say 92 because he's going to be 93. 91.
I mean, so there's like past performance just means nothing.
I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. But I've been saying that now for a little while.
And I've been caping harder for him than anybody.
I like that term, though.
Thanks.
Explain the origin of that term.
I heard it on Chris Long's podcast once.
I like that, Chris Long.
I'm cribbing from it. I'm taking.
Nice. I like that.
Without crediting, which is good.
I like that. Somebody accused you of doing that with your other question.
Which one?
Hold on. I got to sift through the negative texts.
Needle in a haystack.
It's something along the lines of Jackson stole that question from The Fight.
The Fight?
I think, or from Randy or something like that.
I told Rockio that would be a good fight question 2 days ago.
Oh, that question was on The Fight with Randy. Pittle stole it and didn't give credit. That's from the 314.
Or I gave it to Rockio and he used it for the fight.
Did he give you credit?
I don't care if he did or didn't. We're all playing for the same team here, baby.
Oh, my gosh. What a moment.
Yeah.
Jamie Rivers is going to be even more proud of you now.
He can, yeah. I mean, it's not like I read it on The Athletic, so do I need to credit The Athletic for information that
I'd like you to.
Everyone can find? It's not like a source. It's not
I'd like you to.
Okay. All right. The Athletic told me that information that I also could have Googled.
Wow. Jackson, what a tone. What a condescending, elite tone.
I equate that to when someone says sources are saying this and someone in the comments goes, who are the sources? It's not how sources work. They're called sources so they can remain anonymous.
Nice.
So you can continue to have sources. Yeah, watch All the President's Men once.
Dustin Hoffman and Bob Redford.
Yeah. I bet Woodward and Bernstein were very happy with that casting because neither of them look like Robert Redford or Dustin Hoffman.
Jackson, we got to go. I managed the clock incredibly poorly today, but you know what? The ends justifies the means. That's the game. I learned that in school, then I dropped out. Is that New Jack Hustler, Ice Cube? No, Ice-T.
Ice-T, long-term cast member of SVU.
And friend of the show. Time for us to go. BK and Ferrario are up next. For Jackson Burkett, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. James Carlton is my insurance agent, and he's also on the phone, and that's wonderful. He's online at carltoninsurance.net. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Tim. Hey, who was it for the Rams back in the day that had some clock management issues? Was that Tony Banks?
That was Mike Martz.
Okay, you are the Mike Martz of Sports Talk Radio.
How
on
about
the clock
that, Jackson?
side.
I consider that an incredible compliment.
Yibbit.
Yeah, yibbit.
Hey, and speaking of the Rams, Cousin Shane on that great SEC podcast, he said the 2024 Mizzou offense reminds him of the greatest show on turf, so I'll take that.
Wow. Boy, Jackson just gave me a facial expression. One that conveyed skepticism. That's my read. I don't know. You tell me, Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
I think you expected me not to comment on that facial expression. What's wrong with that?
No, it's fine.
Hey, I hope he's right. We both hope he's right.
Absolutely.
Hey,
but
you better believe it.
Sample size.
Hey, it'd be great. James, what's the good word?
Well, the good word is we are helping a lot of people with drivers under the age of 25. So teenage drivers, drivers in college, you're probably seeing some pretty expensive expenses going out. Give us a call. It takes 5 minutes for us to see if we can save you money, or you can call or text 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
That's my insurance agent. It's James Carlton. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.